First off, I want to say happy belated birthday or happy birthday, happy 90th birthday to comrade farmer leader and former Prime Minister of Jamaica, Percival, the Honorable Percival James Patterson. I'm going to say big up to BOJ TV for covering and doing their, them documenting of these situations. Alright? So let us go here, ladies and gentlemen, and listen to some of the things that he had to say in his speech on his 90th birthday. Check this out.
Party leader Michael Mark Jefferson Golding, former party leader Dr. Phillips, my former colleagues as officers and members of the cabinet. Comrade Beverly Manley, I'm going to have to signal you out love. The Premier of Turks and Caicos, compañeros Embarrasses, comrades and friends. In the pavilion, you have a lot of time to reflect. And I have been using that time. And until this afternoon, it was my intention to keep all those reflections for the occasion. But I think you have paid me such great honor that you are entitled for me to share some of my reflections with you. And your worst nightmare is that I am doing it without a script, so I'm not confined to the discipline of time, and I have asked to be allowed to do it seated. So I am very comfortable and not threatened that my legs will give way. It is good to be patient, and it has taken me 90 years to hear from my colleagues what they have to say. And therefore, it is no longer confined to the time when it has to be said, but I am not in a position to hear it. You do me great honor, inestimable honor, by your presence as I celebrate my 90th birthday. And it was deliberately planned that I would not do it before I knew that I would survive to be here on my 90th birthday. And in the 90th birthday, it is no longer confined to a day. Father Jackson will tell you, to everything there's a time and a season. So for me, this is the 90th birthday season. It's difficult to do a response which takes into account the fact that so many others who started on the journey with me are no longer here. But I think I must begin by paying tribute to all of them for their example, for their sacrifice, and to what I was privileged to learn from them very often simply by observation rather than precept. I've thought, among other things, how much of a coincidence it is that the person who propelled me from being a student activist supporting the party to getting involved in political work happens to be the same person who persuaded Norman Manley that he had to make a contribution to the nation, not from the confines of the court, nor even from the Social Welfare Commission which he had created, but by his active entry to lead a political movement. And few know that it is that same person who, when Michael Manley returned from his studies in London, was recruited by him as a journalist for public opinion. And that same gentleman it was who, when I was finishing my honors degree at the UCWI and preparing to go to pursue the study of law, invited me to his home on East Avenue, just before Queens, for a student. A good meal was always welcome, more so topped up with some sherry. And he suggested to me that instead of going off immediately to do law, why should I not consider very seriously helping to rebuild the People's National Party, which was the first party campaigning for independence and universal adult suffrage in 1938 that did not win until 1955. And by 1957, it was routed in the federal elections with some of the best candidates that have ever been presented by any political party. And when I went and discussed it with my fellow students, my grouping, they thought I was insane. And when I summoned enough courage to mention it to my mother, she scoffed at it at first. And then the thing that allowed me to get some traction with her is when I said I was going to be involved with a party led by Norman Manley as part of my mission, instead of being a minister of religion, to minister politically to God's people on earth. And she said, well, if Norman Manley is giving you that opportunity, go ahead. And I mention this because I didn't know it at the time, but it's the best investment I ever made in my political career.
Crazy night.
Because I did not begin at the top, coming down. I began at the bottom and eventually When that was recognized, I was propelled by the people upwards and onwards. And for that experience and exposure, I will always be grateful. I have done everything from raising Thy kingdom come, O God, in a group meeting, to pulling down the microphone. Let me share this story with you. We went coming up to the 1959 elections. I was in the parish of St. Elizabeth. Michael Manley, he was known then as Young Boy. And when Young Boy was coming, I mean, everybody came out to hear Young Boy. I was the organizer. We went to a place, middle quarters, with the shrimps. Die-hard labor. So Michael began.
Some more ask the elder them. The elder them where we know about them time, they will live through them time there. I saw them used to call Michael Manley Young Boy. When you storm up the comment section and make me know it go here. Yeah.
Oh, I know you're supporters of Sir Alexander Bustamante, a great trade union leader. And the crowd said, mm-hmm. And he went on to speak about what Bustamante was doing in the union movement. And the people said, talk nice. Why the mother PNP man not talk like you? And then he reached a point when he said, but. And every word after the but was followed by rock stones on the roof. Michael at the time was being driven by a man named Vinfoot, who kept the car running. And when the stones kept on coming with increasing intensity, Vinfoot revved up the car. Michael was in the car in a flash. I had to pull down the speakers from the top of the house. Michael reached the Black River and finished speaking to Black River before I could get to Black River. So I have done it all. I could never take you through a litany of all my experiences. And I would say this, and John in a way referred to it in his presentation. I have always encouraged every young person who has an interest in politics, get a sound foundation first. Politics cannot be a livelihood. Politics reflects a passion for serving the people.
Message. Politics cannot be a livelihood. Man, I gotta play that back. Hold up. I gotta play that back. Sound advice. Isn't some of these politicians trying to be career politicians? Isn't some of these politicians, haven't they forgotten that they are here to serve the people? They are filling their pockets, doing all types of business, growing their businesses, expanding their wealth, and forgetting that they are supposed to be serving the people. Message. Go ahead, Sir Honorable PJ Patterson.
Politics cannot be a livelihood. Politics reflects a passion for serving the people. If you want to serve yourself, find something else to do other than enter the political arena.
Message. Oh my God. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Emotional damage.
Yes, sir. I ain't got to call no names because that applies to who it applies to. All right, let's play that again. Let's play that again. Let that sink in.
Politics reflects a passion for serving the people. If you want to serve yourself, find something else to do other than enter the political arena. And I mention this because one of the things on which I reflect is when I hear the story about how much money I have and the house in France. I tell everybody, do me a favor, just find the house for me. You can live in it for 50 weeks of the year, free, and just give me a couch for 2 weeks every year, and I'll be comfortable with that. Some people have seen me on a airplane when Air Jamaica used to fly coming home. And they said, what are you doing on the plane? I said, going home. They said, so what happened to the jet that you own? I am in Jamaica 24/7. My daughter-in-law goes to the supermarket and she hears somebody saying, oh, PJ flying for annual conference. PJ didn't fly and PJ never left.
So hold on there. So you tell me say all this time the money when I tell lie on PJ. Say PJ own house of France and PJ have private jet. What a wicked set of people there. Who could I lie so? Oh my God. Who started that lie? Eh? Who started the lie that PJ have a house in France? Who started that lie? Who started the lie that PJ have a jet, a private jet? What a wicked set of people like these. I am so happy that the Lord led me to listen to this thing. This is a raw reaction, ladies and gentlemen. This is a raw reaction. Who tell like on PJ say own private jet? Hey, you don't know how much private jet? Private jet expensive enough? If PJ didn't own private jet, I don't think his statutory declaration could have been certified. Lowly 97, what's up? Right? Somebody say, I know you know the liberator lie. Virgin, me never know. Say, I them the type of lie that they want to tell upon PJ. Mighty God. What can go so?
What can go so? What can go so?
No, sir.
What can go so?
Help, help. We key out of the
We
ladder.
need your divine intervention. We're tired of the labor.
This bad.
We're tired of the green people. We are so far. We can't take it no more. We need
The bad man.
We need it. Help! Help!
Oh.
Jesus Christ of Nazareth.
Okay.
God is our refuge and strength. Is a liberator.
Where's a PJ living in the same house in a Narbrook for years? And them say the man of house. Why may I tell you? No, sir. Make a play. This bad.
And I mention this because one of the things for me, people have spoken about my roots, my family, my background, etc. For me, integrity is what it is all about. You can say many bad things, you can criticize me, you can attack me, but when it comes to integrity, that's all we have as a people to show that we are capable of converting our hard-won struggle for freedom into something that ensures a better way of life for the people from whom we spring and to whom we belong. I have been privileged beyond measure to have been able to serve in the government and the administration over which Michael Manley presided, and in which I was for a substantial portion of time the Deputy Prime Minister and a Vice President of the party. I give thanks that I was part of the government that has been responsible for the greatest social transformation in Jamaica that has ever taken place since the emancipation of slavery. And people, I think there was some sort of oblique questioning about it. My relationship, my work with Michael Manley as my leader is one for which I remain eternally proud. But I must also share with you that after that agonizing defeat in 1980, I went through a period of intense questioning whether I should continue to be engaged in political life.
What you say, PJ? PJ said he wanna contemplate for whether he want to continue with political life when they wanna work with when them lose in 19. PJ, what you say? You serious? No, sir. This remember. Let's hear more.
Maxine referred to a conversation. She didn't divulge the contents, nor will I. Suffice it to say that after serious consideration, I came to the view that I was entrusted with the responsibility of contributing at the level of leadership to a movement for the advancement of our people that I had an obligation to pursue with what Norman Manley describes as fixity of purpose. And so we were involved in the process of rebuilding, and those of you who are old enough to remember, despite the fact that we only won 9 seats in the 1980 election, by 1983, the people were just waiting for an opportunity to return the People's National Party to government. And so we did in 1989. I have endeavored to put much of what we achieved in my book. But some people say rather unkindly, if you want to hide anything from Jamaican people, you put it in a book. Because we are more given to the oral tradition rather than the literary tradition. Let me just try and encapsulate the situation which we faced in 1989. There was a change in the global configuration with the dismantling of the bipolar axis and with competing economic ideologies. With the advent of Thatcher and Reagan, market capitalism and globalization became the only game in town. In fact, that contributed to the dismantling of the Soviet Union as we knew it. And people ask from time to time, and there's learned discourse as to whether Michael Manley and the PNP changed its mission. The answer is resolutely no. But the means and the process by which we could secure social justice, equity in the global order, and the exercise of our sovereign rights to explore our human and natural resources meant we had to do it with very little option other than in accordance with the dictates of the multilateral lending agencies. I never call them the multilateral donor agencies because all they donate is pain. And I say so without reservation. Of all the tributes given, I pay special attention to what Comrade Burke said. He spoke about differences. The truth is, the PNP has always been a party of ideas. Our purpose is clear. Our mission is clear. Those were eloquently etched in the DNA of the party by Norman Manley in his opening presentation at the Ward Theatre in 1938. Those are immutable. They will never change. And at the present...
So 1938, we need to mark that down, you know. 1938 Norman Manley speech. I see me can find that speech there, you know, that is the basis and the DNA of the People's National Party. Norman Manley, 1938. Full speech. Need to find that speech. Hopefully we can find it. Let's continue. And by the way, remember, hey y'all, please remember to hit the like button. I know y'all come in sometimes and y'all forget, but the main thing, man, y'all gotta hit the like button, man. And share the live stream. Come on now. Stop playing. Support, support, support. The like button is free, heard? I know that's right.
time, the world is going through another period of unprecedented turbulence and mutation. Every leader has his or her own different style, his or her own different way of doing things. Some of the things that we did went almost unnoticed. When, for example, the Americans wanted us to sign a treaty saying that they could send their vessels into our territorial waters and pick out who they like, we told them no way. Other countries in the Caribbean had already signed on the dotted line. Jamaica had to initiate the meeting that called all the Caribbean countries together to have a ship rider treaty agreement, an exercise of our own sovereignty. When they kidnapped Aristide and put him on a plane and sent him to Africa and declared on the manifest in Barbados, in Antigua where the plane landed, no passengers, cargo only, you would never, ever believe that this calm, mild-mannered P.J. Patterson used the language which he used in speaking to Colin Powell. About it. I hear people writing all about the abandonment of the search for the new international economic order. What poppycock? The new international economic order essentially is predicated on a change of the relationships in the global economic structure and allowing us to exercise our sovereign rights. We belong to a United Nations that was created when we were colonies. The IMF, the World Bank. The developed countries have 90% of the voting rights. The United States has 16% of the voting rights in the IMF. And the articles provide that 85% majority is necessary for every decision. You know what that means? A veto power. We are about South-South relationships. The Petro-Carib, which Hugo Chavez of Venezuela, Fidel Castro of Cuba, and P.J. Patterson of Jamaica developed, is the greatest act of South-South cooperation that has been seen in the hemisphere. And, you know, I said something about roads the other day, and I see a response from somebody who says they are fixing the roads that I should have fixed 19 years ago. Let them go into any constituency. I fixed those roads 19 years ago, but they don't understand that when roads fix, they have to be maintained. So you can be in power for 9 years and talking about the roads that were in much, much better condition in 2006.
Emotional damage. Embarrassing.
He needs some milk.
I am so happy that in his infinite wisdom, P.J. Patterson decided to address Andrew Onus' nonsensical argument that he made the other day on a platform about the 18 years ago. He's fixed, if I should answer him. I am fixing the roads from 18 years ago. And the fact of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, there's no argument. Nobody can say nothing. And the PJ will have better road. And the roads are being maintained. And that's a fact. PJ built highways. Talk to me nice. Talk to me nice. So the audacity. This man, I'm telling you, Andrew Onus is one of the weakest leaders of all time. This man is a coward. In real life, the man don't stand on nothing. How can you say you're going to take responsibility and you're the leader? You came in the game talking about all the other things that everybody did wrong. And then when you came into power, you want to blame everything that is happening while you are in power and everybody else in the past. You are the weakest leader of all time. And time come to change. I am so happy that the Lord led me to listen to this audio. Big up PJ Patterson. Me glad say him address it. I am so happy he addressed it. And people, make sure someone go look up that thing they were him talk about, you know. Cause me I look for the document right now, you know. Seeing the ship rider treaty. Yeah man, it says here agreement signed at Washington July 13, 1998. You see me, and you know say around the time the PJ still in a power same way. Right? 1998, if we're not mistaken. How much years PJ they in a power for? Hold on. PJ Patterson as Prime Minister. How much years? From 1992 to 2006. There you go. Yes, a PJ Patterson did in power. So here what PJ say, him tell the government of Jamaica, of America, say, listen, hell to the no. We're not going to do that in our shores. That is going to take away our sovereignty. No, it was not publicized. That's one of the things that the PMP doesn't do well. And in the age of publicity, they have to start do it. They will have to start recording all the fight that they fight for us and all the wins that they have won for us. When them stand up to the people them for us, them have to record it. Because that is what Andrew Owens is doing. Andrew Owens is recording small wins and making it seem like it's some gigantic thing that they're doing. Them know how to just make the thing look, you know, them know about PR. They are the PR government. They will trick the hell out of people. You feel me? But this, I am so happy Mr. Patterson addressed the road city. Let's play that back. I think it deserves a playback, don't you? Let's carry that back a little bit, guys. Let's bring it back. All right, let's go.
Fidel Castro of Cuba and PJ Patterson of Jamaica developed is the greatest act of South-South cooperation that has been seen in the hemisphere. And, you know, I said something about roads the other day, and I see a response from somebody who says they are fixing the roads that I should have fixed 19 years ago. Let them go into any constituency. I fixed those roads 19 years ago, but they don't understand that when roads fix, they have to be maintained. So you can't be in power for 9 years and talking about the roads that were in much, much better condition in 2006.
All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way.
I am urging the party, Comrade Phillips, to have another set the record straight, featuring you, the party leader, our Minister of Finance in waiting, to compare what was done by the government between 2007 to 2012 to what you had to do between 2012 to 2016.
Real talk. Hey, and I'm going to do it, you know, because anything when PJ say, you know, it go. Them have to grant the elder wishes. Right? I am so happy that PJ addressed it. Because, you see, when you hear Andrew Owens speak about, he's in, this is a battle for the people's minds. What do you mean? I got a lone battle for people's mind. If you do something, and it's clear that you do it, you don't need to convince the people that you did anything. Your work will speak for itself. Right? But they have tried to re-engineer the minds of the kids now using social media for say PMP did in a power for 18 years and did absolutely nothing for the country. Listen, I have criticized them. But to say that they have done absolutely nothing, that is a big fat lie. That is a lie from the pits of hell. You hear me tell you? The man them wicked, brother. Thank you for the follow, Pooh. Them wicked, man. Them need to stop it. Them need to stop it. Let's continue.
We must tell the people the truth. We must set the record straight. Who remember the patty pans in which our people had to travel? And the decision when it was completed, Peter, in one of your, what shall I call it, easier ministries. But, you know, it allows me to say this. It allows me to say this. I led a team. And when you pick a team, you must allow the members of the team to do their job. And they must get praise when praise is due. And they have to get some cover and protection when mistakes will be made. But there is a big difference between mistakes of judgment and mistakes of integrity. In fact, there is no such thing as...
Ooh, play that back. What? Hey, PJ, man, listen, boy. I used to love listening to your speeches. I had to go in the dictionary. This man is not playing. You hear me? Woo!
In mistakes of judgment and mistakes of integrity. In fact, there's no such thing as mistakes of integrity. It is corruption.
But listen me. Big up the government. Respect. But you see me? The truth is just the truth. I have to respect it. Our country now run right. Our country now run right. All who believe me, Bossa Blanc say blow. It's nothing. It's not mace nor puffy.
Damn. Shots fired. Sheesh. Lord have mercy. I know Andrew Holness felt that in the gut, boy. Ugh. Entire Jamaica Labour Party felt that. Lord have mercy.
I don't think I should abuse this opportunity of saying everything that needs to be said. But simply to say, as we know, the time is drawing nigh. We know not when the bridegroom cometh, so we must have oil in our lamps to keep it burning. And, comrade leader, people like me, people like Comrade Phillips, people like Comrade Maxine Henry Wilson, people like Comrade Junior, Comrade Paul, well, I include him because he was part of my team. Even, when I said even, I mean he was not at the ministerial level, but as he said, in terms of campaign administration, Comrade Vin Lawrence, we are here, we are ready. And let me end by saying this. It's my birthday. And I'm not going to ask for it as my birthday present, because I have already asked for it as the present for the centenary of the birth of Michael Manley. And I'm sticking to that. When you win, then I can get my birthday present in terms of what the PNP has to do in the new world. And I put it extremely simple. I think I am a man of faith. I am also a person who believes in destiny. And destiny demands that the People's National Party occupy the reins of government at a time of global transition, because we want to have hands on the wheel that recognize we put our nations first, but nations do not exist separately and alone. We are part of a bigger world consisting of other nations. I don't think I could end without saying, among my privileges is working not only with great leaders of the People's National Party, but great leaders of the world. And I have to say it at this time because they are under such intense pressure. History has already absolved several times over Fidel Castro.
Hey, let me tell y'all something, man. You see this man right here? PJ Patterson is a class act. I'm telling y'all, right? This man is a class act. This man just did what Andrew Onis refused to do. Stick with the Cubans. Stick with the Cubans. What did they do? Send back the Cubans them back home? All of the doctor them? Hey man, I'm telling you, man, God is gonna whip this country. And the leaders especially, because of the violation that we violated the Cubans, that has served this country like it was their own. Let me tell you, God is going to whip with that, because we did not stand on business. And look at it, ladies and gentlemen. Look at it, ladies and gentlemen, right? They bowed down to the United States, right? And what was the reward? Right? What was the reward? Howard, big up. Odin, big up. Q876, thank you for the follow. What was the reward? Lisa, how you doing? What was the reward of the government from the United States? Not a goddamn thing. 10% tariff in our backside, right? And the I showed you guys the other day, because I learned it from the teacher. Wayne Lonesome brought it out, right? That the travel advisory has remained at level 3. What does level 3 mean? You should reconsider coming to Jamaica. That is what the United States Travel Advisory, is telling the people that is coming from the US, wanting to travel, reconsider coming to Jamaica. Just reconsider it. We don't recommend Jamaica. So they did all of that bowing down to the United States. It is still there. They updated it April 7th. The travel advisory is the same. I would recommend that you guys go and do your research or watch my platform, because I showed the document, and you can watch Mr. Wayne Lonesome as well. And other platforms have brought it up. The travel advisory is still the same, ladies and gentlemen. So what was the point? We have what's his name? The Minister of Health, Tufton, taking expensive trips, right? To go and look for doctors, right? Somebody said, I can't blame Andrew too much. He is protecting his own interests and assets in the United States. You must, hey, HEC, I know you are being funny. You have to be sarcastic. You gotta be sarcastic, bro. If you was listening to this entire stream, one of the key things that Mr. PJ Patterson said is when you are a politician, you are in service of the people. Not your self-interest. The people. Oh, you're being sarcastic. Thank God. Man, I was about to go off, bro. Lord have mercy. You almost let me blow the top off of my head, bro. I knew you had to be sarcastic about that one. Because that sound crazy. You understand what I'm saying? That sound crazy. So, in keeping their visas, the Jamaica Labour Party, in keeping their visas, they decided to bow down to the United States and put the proverbial middle finger to us, the people of Jamaica. Tourism is going to now be affected. Tariff is going to affect our food prices going through the roof. Sassity, how you doing? Yeah, I had to calm down, Sassity. Listen, man, that yo. Anyway, let me go. Let me finish this up. Lord, man, what? You just don't know, man. Woo!
And we have to take a position. We have to look long. Any decision you're taking in political life, don't just look at the immediate situation. Look at its application in the future. And equally, as I said, I think, in our last Get the Record Straight presentation, when you're in government, anything you're proposing, think of how the opposition would react to it. And if you wouldn't accept it in opposition, don't expect others to do it. And one of the things that worries me is that the government is operating as though the time will never come when they will be in opposition.
You hear what the man said? One of the things that worries him is that they're operating as if they don't have to recuse power when they lose. They are operating in a manner of a dictatorship. The man them say they will not give up Jamaica to the PMP. What the hell does that mean? Are they going to start a war? Are they planning of reigniting the 1980s? Or whenever that was, when all of those horrible things was happening, and then when I kill off PMP in a PMP era, I'll pity them when I kill. Somebody, one lady tell one story the other day, say them tear one baby in a two and throw the baby in the fire. Some wicked things in the labor at them when I go on with in them time there, back in them day there. I wonder if them something they want to start up back again. Eh? Is those things them plan to start up back when them lose? Huh? And it's a real serious question. Because of how them attack and the utterances coming out of their mouth. The Prime Minister, all of them. Desmond Mackenzie, all of them. Gestures from Darrell Vaz. In the something, the cut short gesture. Yeah, to Marlon Morgan and things that he's been saying. Right? Those are the wrong signals to be sending the population. And you have people supporting this thing, talking about Andrew to the world. So now support these types of behavior. When you forgot, so when election finish, you will have a Jamaican same way. Right? And what if one day you should change your mind about that party? Would you still be okay with them having those types of arguments? Will you be the victim when you have an epiphany? That is the type of party that you want to support. that does not bow out gracefully when they lose. Again, integrity. It is all about integrity. And if the leaders don't have integrity, well, and you're supporting them, that says a lot about you. But let's continue.
And to make it happen requires work. And that work requires unity. Unity of purpose. Unity of action. Unity of using all the talents and skills that are available to those in the progressive movement that want to create a Jamaica of love, of peace, of inclusive prosperity, and make Jamaica a symbol that people of different hues and colors, of differing religious persuasions, differences in gender notwithstanding, differences of age, can dwell together as one people and make Jamaica a land as a model for the whole human race. Thank you for saying, we say PJ tonight, I say the People's National Party, onward and forward, let us go together. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, PJ mentioned something a while ago about, the world, right? So I want to share this post with you. Look at this. Look at your screen. And for those not seeing it, I'm going to read it to you. Every student in China will be required to learn artificial intelligence starting September 1st. The mandate starts as early as 6 years old. 6! Y'all heard what I said a while ago? 6. What is going on with the Jamaican education system at the moment? We are struggling for kids to come out that can read. Meanwhile, China is teaching their 6-year-olds AI. Artificial intelligence. Talk about being in a country that is governed by a government that have us all the way behind. All the way behind. Good evening, Amanda Chin. Big up yourself, baby. Thank you for hitting the like button. Reva, big up. Penny Led, big up. Oh, and by the way, let me read this message from Lisa. Lisa said, Camilla Johnson, in her ignorance and her obvious inexperience that the US was going to reverse the travel ban. Exactly. She said, I love PJ talks. They hate it because he debunks their lies. When he talks about party pan, it was a real problem to Jamaicans. Andrew not being truthful as per usual. Somebody said, if Andrew wins, all poor people like me can't go to Jamaica. I would have to have certain amount of money. You think I come to Jamaica? Right it. You can't go live at Jamaica. You're going to live on the street. The way all this government is going, they are going to create more homelessness than anything else. Because they are working for the wealthy and not for the poor. They not elevate the middle class. They are destroying the middle class with them policies. But let's listen to this.
Required to learn artificial intelligence starting September 1st, 2025. The mandate starts as early as 6 years old. This is why China is beating America. This is why China is beating America. Because while they over there doing this, making it mandatory for their kids to learn AI. Our kids is over here doing stupid ass dances, learning goofy ass trends. So what does this mean? This means that China is going to continue to stay in the lead. They will continue to lead. This means that the generation that's coming up is going to be smarter and ahead of the generation that's coming up over here in America. That's what it means. They're going to be ahead of us. Everybody know AI is the future. They're going to be on top of it. America going to be behind. Our generation is going to be behind their generation. When you really look at it, I don't know if we just... America kind of slow, man. Real talk, America kind of slow. When you look at different parts of the world, I ain't saying we're the slowest, but when you look at different parts of the world and you see their infrastructure, their technology, their culture, you start to realize, like, America, we kind of like, we're not the sharpest knives in the drawer. Like, we kind of slow compared to them. They probably look at us like we slow as hell. You know, like when you in school and you walk past that class, they only got like 8 people in there. That's how they probably looking at America. China looking at us. You know, all the other countries looking at us like, they slow as hell over there, man. We just tough. We just bullies. We just tough. We not that smart. We just tough. I don't know, y'all. You know, we gotta figure something out, man. Some kind of way, man. We gotta figure out how to get in the lead. Every student in China will be required to learn artificial intelligence starting September 1st, 2025. The mandate starts as early as 6 years old.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if this is an American speaking, the brother, and he's wealthy, he's rich, he knows how to make his money. He understands what's going on in the world, and he's tapped in. All right, he's about productive society and a culture. And if he's admitting that America is slow while living in America, and he's admitting that the direction that China is going, they're going to win America. Well, let me say this to the PMP. I understand the challenges that we have education-wise, but you guys have a gem in Andre Horton, and Andre Horton seems to get it. He really seems to get it when it comes on to technology. So I would advise Mark Golding, if they have not had conversations already, I would want to advise Mark Golding to really look at this, making it mandatory for our children to starting to learn AI in Jamaica. Yeah, it needs to be a course that they need to pass. You get me? And hopefully that will spark their mental juices to even learn and be excited about learning in other areas that would be in parallel to AI. That way they could get jobs and be qualified for jobs that would be high earning and also could help us to develop as a country. You understand? So the world is going where it's going. So I think we need to be prepared, and education is obviously something that is key for the People's National Party. But this specific type of education is something that they need to make be at the forefront. Alright? And that's my spill on that. Let me know what y'all think about that in the comment section. We're gonna move on to the next one.